Good evening everyone, and welcome to part 4 of Infernum. In today's episode, I will take out Crabulon, Eater of Worlds, and the Hive Minds. Welcome back to Terrible Mike Gaming. Because of the giant clam saga, liquids take a while to settle. First I'm going to show you my mods. To be fair, it's only the essentials such as Calamity, Infernum, Recipe Browser and Boss Checklist, with the only quality of life mod being Magic Storage and No More Tombs. Now, right off the bat, I want to go straight into the action and fight Crabulon. First I need to find my mushroom biome, and also grab mushrooms to make Crabulon's summon item. Also going to grab some dynamite to build the arena. I only had 9 dynamite, so I ended up spending all my money on dynamite. So there goes saving up for a mini shark. But anyway, let's head to the desert to make the summon. And now I make the Decapitated Sprout. Alright, let's head back up and then immediately head down to the underground mushroom biome. But first I wanted to make some heart lanterns, and campfires. While making the buff stations, I also decided to make a platinum watch, and then after I've stopped faffing about here, turn it into a GPS, so I can find more things, and also make a shiny red balloon and then a blizzard in the balloon, which is just an upgraded blizzard in the bottom. And then finally make the white horseshoe balloon, which is just that but with a horseshoe. Now it's finally time to head down to the mushroom biome. It's a large open space, but not exactly flat enough for the fight. Yeah, these enemies can get really annoying, so I'm just gonna turn off spawn rates of journey mode. So like, because, come on, like, let me build the arena for goodness sake. Anyway, after killing several enemies, because I just keep pestering this mushroom biome, I mine out the bottom section of the arena, and then blow out the top bit, or top-ish bit I suppose, the mud pile. Also I'm mining around the top for some more space, and then later I'm going to blow that space up, so I have a bit more room. I'm spending a lot of time on this arena, but it's worth it, because fighting Infernum bosses without a good arena is a death wish. Anyway, I've got this arena set up, so let's summon Crabulon. Infernum Crabulon jumps and spawns spore clouds. Then once he enters his phase 2, 85% I believe it is, starts summoning some really annoying crab shrooms and Hive wolves. And during this time, I actually remembered to enable the Infernum health bar, so now you'll be able to see the different phases of the fight. Needless to say, this fight goes about as well as you expected. That was about as well as you expected. I just died like an idiot. That was somehow my first death to an Infernum boss. I die again. And again. And again. That again a bit repetitive. eventually I set up a spawn point so I wouldn't have to constantly keep heading down every time. I'm cutting out the heading down bit, but I have to use the elevator to get back down every time. I summon him up again, and then I die again. Here is the final attempt, I think. First Crabulon jumps and summons spore clouds on landing. It's not too bad to dodge, just gotta be careful. At 85% he enters phase 2 and starts summoning Hive walls and crab shrooms in addition to the previous jumps. Deal with the crab shrooms as they spawn and fly up and down to bait the Hive walls. Continue doing that, you should be good for this phase. Yeah, I found the flying up and down quite dead. Try not to get caught out by the jumps like I do there. Deal with the crab shrooms as they spawn so they don't overwhelm you. And then 45%, Crabulon enters his phase 3. And stops summoning crab shrooms, but instead does this mushroom attack, which isn't nearly as bad as it looks. You just gotta find the gaps in the mushrooms. I've not exactly got anything else to say, so just enjoy yourself. Right, after one final fireball, I win this intense fight. From the bag, I get the fungicide, and also the mushroom plasma. But yeah, I get the fungicide, which is a pretty powerful gun actually, which shoots mushroom rounds. I decide to test the fungicide on the target dummy. Well, once I find the target dummy, I'll stop faffing about testing the gun by shooting it. But yeah, spawn in the target dummy and then shoot the fungicide down. Doing around an average of 200 DPS, which is very strong for this point. But yeah, I head back to spawn. Let's put away my items. I mean, the Crabulon fight wasn't too bad, taking only 7 attempts. Next I'm going to the corruption to set up an arena for Eater of Worlds. I'm just going to do the usual 2 layers of platforms to the arena because I don't know what to expect from the fight. Because I usually pick Crimson, especially when I did my Infernum runs. I've been playing Corruption a lot more recently. So, yeah. Yet again I set up a spawn point so I don't have to travel half a world when I die. Even though I don't die to the Eater of Worlds. Oops, spoiler alert. Alright, anyway. Eater of Souls Slaughter Montage incoming. I didn't have any lost chunks, so I had to farm this. Oh yeah, while I was at it, well, once I finished gathering stuff, I decided to give Hive mode again. And it went about as well as you expected, because I was under geared and everything. Yeah, it didn't go very well, basically. Now head back to spawn to get some bottles to make the vial powder I need for the summon, because I don't have the vial powder yet actually. Place the bottle down and craft the vial powder. Well, I mean I would if Eater or souls would stop assaulting me every 2 seconds. Because that's how the corruption works, I suppose. You just get assaulted by eaters every 2 seconds. But anyway, I make the vile powder. Now jumping down the chasm to make the worm food, to summon the Eater of Worlds. Alright. It's time to summon the Eater of Worlds. In Infernum, Eater of Worlds dashes through the air and spawns cursed flames as it travels. So I just move in a circle only Terraria flare wood. The Eater notices this and as a result starts spawning vile form moves. Although usually I can maneuver above it below. By the way, the Eater of Worlds only has 1 segment, so the Dragoon Drizzlefish doesn't immediately tear it to shreds. It's just an example. Here I'm just running, shooting Drizzlefish. It's been my main weapon for ages. It's just good. Get the Eater down to 0%, but it's not over yet because it splits into 2. So it splits and now there's 2 of them. The Eaters can also spawn shade numbers clouds as they travel, in addition to the previous attacks. So I just keep on circling. Mostly so. They kind of intercept you during this phase, but it's not quite noticeable in phase 2. Yeah, I have a shared health bar, so it's easier to damage when this fight goes on because I'm losing. If you thought it was over, no it isn't. There's now 4 of them, so it gets even worse. And now there's just so many projectiles, so many worms trying to do things. So, that didn't come out right. Anyway, keep on circling. They do intercept you a bit. This is now 4 of them. So I do have to move differently to avoid getting them. Although after a worm-filled fight, I finally come out victorious. On the first try, surprisingly. From the bags, plural. For some reason there's 2 of them. I get the worm scarves as well as plenty of demonite and shadow scales. Now flee the scene. Nearly. Flee the scene to return. That is not how you do it. You flee the scene to return. I flee the scene to return to place. Fumbling a bit, sorry about that. I get the demonite and shadow scales. Then craft up some demonite to make the shadow armor. Forgetting the name of everything. And the nightmare pickaxe, which can mine hellstone, so it'll be very nice. I'm reforging it because had a speed reducing modifier, which It's like the one thing you don't want when it comes to a pickaxe, so... To that, I'm heading down the elevator to mine hellstone in the underworld. While looking for hellstone, I found this voodoo healing module, and I think I found 2 of them, which will be very helpful later on. Now mine some hellstone, digging awkwardly through walls because... I thought I didn't have an obsidian skin potion at the time, so just awkwardly dig through walls until I have enough. Okay, I had enough hellstone, so head back up and now grab some obsidian. And I realised I had obsidian skin potions the whole time and could have used them instead of awkwardly mining. Through walls and could have just dived into the lava, but oh well. Yeah, anyway, that aside, I make the Molten Fury, which is a pretty mediocre bow because it's... I mean, for a bow it's good, but compared to other weapons it's not, really. And I also made the Firestorm Cannon and bought some blue flares because they look cool. By a copious amount. Found that Firestorm Cannon does more damage than left click, but right click is my dash, so it's not very practical. While testing the Firestorm Cannon, a meteorite lands, so I go out to find it. After a long search, including dying to a meteor head, I find the meteorite, start digging it up. So I just keep mining away at the meteorite with useless stuff. So now that I have enough of it, I leave. And then after grabbing a few material, after making up those meteorite bars, and then going into my magic storage to grab some materials. So I'm planning to make the Opal Striker, which is a ranged weapon. Yeah, so I make it, but I don't know if I'm using it wrong, but it seems kind of bad. I mean, it can do 150 damage per shot, but you have to charge it up for like 2 seconds. So, it's not that great. Anyway, I head back to the Corruption to fight the Hive mode. Of course, I have to make the summon first, the Teratoma, I think it is. Then summon the Hive Minds for the first real attack. Initially, I start using Firestorm Cannon. The damage is awful and terrible combined. That's a word being awful. Yeah, the damage is so bad that all the fights are like this. I don't die like immediately, I die after ages. Which just makes it more annoying. And I tried using Fungus, but it wasn't really doing any better. Well, I was doing a bit better, but not good enough. I then realised the Dragoon Drizzlefish I got in episode 2, and is, as far as I'm concerned, a pre-boss weapon, is the best option. It just always has been. I don't know why. It's just that good. Yeah, I die yet again though. In one attempt, the boss just decides to despawn itself. For no apparent reason, it just wanted to despawn itself. Okay, the next attempt though, I got down to the desperation phase and immediately died. after many deaths, here is the final, very long attempt. Yeah, this fight takes forever, by the way. Initially it starts and then dashing for... It can also do dash where it summons the Shade Ray. Yeah, it can spawn the Shade and then the dashing. It doesn't dash when it does that. It does a lot of speed. It moves really fast, so it's hard to hit. It has a lot of health from what it feels like. I'm sorry if it's like really boring to watch. I find it harder to read the boss bars while editing with the Infernum Ranged part. This is what's anyway, at 65%, the Hive mode do this Eater of Souls walk, which is pretty good. You just run and then find a gap and then do a tiny jump through it. You've got to do a small jump, otherwise you get hit by one, and you can't just run all around because otherwise you'll still get hit. You have to do a really small jump. I don't know when it started doing this, but it started summoning projectiles as it was spinning. Eventually it starts using shade thrower attacks, so just look out for the telegraph and then fly above it. It's pretty easy to dodge, to be fair. Most of these attacks aren't too bad to get the hang of them, and it's not too bad to get them. Reaching 20%, the thing decides to do a funny and heal all the way up to 40% health, so you have to get it down again. Yeah, I don't know what this rain attack does and how to dodge it. Dodge the move. I think tap left to right. You can do the diagonal eater, so just run on the ground until you find a gap, and then move back through. You can also do spreads of Hive blocks, so just circle it while it's doing this. Still got the shade thrower from before, but extra projectiles. So just bear those extra projectiles in mind. And finally, after a way too long fight, I finally emerge victorious and then immediately die. Because of course I do. Yeah, I had way too much adrenaline to type. But anyway, I opened the bag and got this weapon called the Shade Thrower, which is a new flamethrower. It looks really cool, and damage is actually pretty solid. I mean, it's not the highest damage, but it's consistent. More consistent than Drizzlefish, and deals around 150 DPS. Plus, have I mentioned that it looks cool? Anyway, headed back to base, and then... yeah, this fight took 13 attempts, by the way, which is a lot. Now that Hive Mind has been defeated, go to the Sky Island. Can you guess what I do? You guessed absolutely annihilating it by blowing it up. You were right. One area light mowing session later, I head back to base yet again and craft up some area light bars. And then make the Aqua Shard shotgun, which is a pretty mediocre gun. I mean, the damage is good, but like, the Aqua Shards will struggle to keep up with the enemies. Just to make sure though, I did some off off-camera testing and found out that the Drizzlefish was still the best weapon. I mean, it just worked, so that's what I'll use. But anyway, that's all for episode 4, so good night, and I'll see you in the next one.